From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. It promises to be a busy day on the New Brunswick campaign trail for the Liberals and the Greens. Liberal leader Susan Holt's day, which begins at 9 a.m. local time, includes visits to the Moncton area. Green leader David Kuhn is scheduled to speak at a campaign launch in Moncton South for candidate Vincent Marola. However, Progressive Conservative leader Blaine Higgs has no events planned for today. Now out west, where poli-sci experts say new riding borders in British Columbia's provincial election will affect the benefits of each of the contending parties. UBC's Stuart Prest says many seats, which sit on the edge of both zones, are seeing changes to their urban-rural mix. However, perhaps the biggest challenge this time around is the creation of 3 new seats in Vancouver. The candidate lists for the trio are littered with familiar names from the city's municipal politics. Meantime, city officials in Calgary say everything is on track to lift all water restrictions today. In an update yesterday, they noted that the final quality tests confirm the water meets or exceeds all safety standards and is safe to drink. Since late August, there has been a ban on any outdoor water use with potable supplies, while the city completes additional repairs to a major feeder main. The union representing aerospace engineers at Boeing has rejected a request from the company to lay off workers during a strike of 33,000 machinists. Now, the strike was initiated last week after 96% of members voted to reject the company's new contract offer. Aviation industry consultant Scott Hamilton says Boeing will likely feel the impact of this strike for months or possibly years, the longer it goes on.
The 2008 strike took 2 years to recover. The company was in a much stronger position then than it is now.
Union President John Holden has said the first round of mediation did not garner any fruitful discussions. South of the border, Ukraine's president is visiting U.S. President Joe Biden's hometown today. Reporter Chuck Severson says the trip is about ammunition.
Ukrainian President Zelensky will visit northeast Pennsylvania's Scranton Army ammunition plant, operated by General Dynamics. That, according to 2 U.S. officials and a third familiar with Zelensky's schedule. The factory is one of the few in the U.S. to make 155-millimeter artillery shells for big guns called howitzers that can hit targets up to 20 miles away. Zelensky kicking off a busy week in the U.S. with talks with President Biden, speaking at the UN General Assembly, and shoring up support for Ukraine.
With the war now well into its 3rd year, Zelensky has been pushing the U.S. for permission to use longer-range missile systems to fire deeper into Russia. And finally, Iranian state media is reporting this morning that a methane leak sparked an explosion at a coal mine in eastern Iran, killing at least 32 people. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have regained first place in the CFL's tight West Division with a 27-13 victory over the host Edmonton Elks. The Blue Bombers led 3-0 at halftime and then outscored the Elks 24-13 in the second half. The Montreal Alouettes, meantime, clinched a home playoff date with a 24-12 win over the host Ottawa Redblacks. The Owls posting their league-leading 11th victory, while the Redblacks slipped to 8 wins, 5 losses, and a tie. Over to the MLB now, where the Tampa Bay Rays beat the visiting Toronto Blue Jays 3-2. Alejandro Kirk extending his career-high hitting streak to 14 games with an RBI triple in the 7th for Toronto. And in Major League Soccer action, the Colorado Rapids secured a playoff spot with a 2-0 victory over Toronto FC. CF Montreal defeated the visiting Chicago Fire FC 2-0, and the LA Galaxy doubled up on the Vancouver Whitecaps 4-2. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.